Hi, fourth graders. Today's read aloud is Bug Bites, written by Liz Huyck. Have you ever eaten a bug? Millions of people eat bugs every day. Let's read to find out what kinds of bugs people eat and why they eat them. Bug bites. Creeping, crawling food. Have you heard the joke about the customer who finds a fly in his soup? The customer angrily points it out to the waiter, and the waiter says, "Keep your voice down or everybody will want one." Okay, so it's an old joke, but is there any truth to it? Who on earth would want to eat a bug? Would it surprise you that lots of people would? It's true. In many places around the world, eating bugs is no joke. Bugs aren't just pests, they're lunch, dinner, or after-school snacks. To those of us who have never crunched a cricket or slurped a worm, the idea of eating bugs may sound pretty gross. We wouldn't eat those creepy crawlies, even if someone dared us. But many types of bugs are actually nutritious, tasty, and safe to eat. Eating bugs is an old habit. Long ago, before they learned to farm, our ancestors found food by hunting and gathering. This included eating bugs at almost every meal. Back then, bugs were a source of nutrition right under their noses, or buzzing by their ears. As you've probably noticed, bugs are everywhere. 1 out of every 3 animals is a bug. There are about 200 million of the little critters for every person on the planet. No wonder more than half the people on Earth still eat bugs daily. Of the millions of bugs that we know about, more than 1,900 are somebody's favorite snack. The most popular bugs to eat are crickets and termites, which are said to taste a bit like pineapple, but lots of other bugs are edible too. In Thailand, outdoor markets offer silkworm larvae. In Eastern Africa, grasshoppers are called flying shrimp. Restaurants in Mexico sell ant tacos. Jars of bees line supermarket shelves in Japan. Bugs do a body good. Think about 2 plates of food. On one plate is a big, juicy hamburger. On the other is a heaping pile of cooked grasshoppers. Ground beef or bugs? Which one do you think is better for your body? Both have lots of protein, which is what your body uses to build muscle. But in other ways, grasshoppers clearly come out ahead. A pound of grasshoppers has less fat than a pound of beef, and the insects are higher in calcium and iron. Not only are grasshoppers better for you than beef, they're also better for the planet. It takes a lot of grass, water, and space to raise a cow. How many grasshoppers could be raised on the same amount of land? And they taste good, a lot like green peppers. More to explore. Other bugs are good for you too. A biologist who wrote the Eat a Bug cookbook says, if your bones are still growing, eat more crickets and termites. A matter of taste. In North America and Europe, the idea of eating bugs sounds disgusting to most people. But even though we don't think of crickets and termites as food, a lot of what we eat comes from the world of bugs. Honey is made by bees. Shrimp, crayfish, crabs, and lobsters all belong to a group of animals called arthropods, as do bugs. Other parts of the world have different taboo foods. Many people don't eat pork. Lots of people would never eat lobsters or other sea-dwelling bugs, but they are served at fancy restaurants all over the United States. How things taste is different even among people who eat insects. People in South Africa might munch termites for lunch, but they'd never eat scorpions, which are raised for food in China. In one part of Southeast Asia, dragonflies are a treat, but in another part, no one would ever think of eating them. Bugs are considered a perfect food for long space journeys because astronauts can breed them in outer space. When it comes to eating, people mostly stick with food they're used to. What is seen as food and what is not is a matter of taste and what you've been taught. The bad buzz with bugs. We know that bugs are everywhere. We also know that eating them is good for you and for the planet. And lots of people all over the world think they taste great. So why don't we eat them? Some people think our feelings about insects come from very long ago. When our ancestors began to raise their own food, insects that feasted on their crops became the bad guys. Over time, we got used to thinking of them as dirty, diseased, and even poisonous. But most bugs are actually no dirtier than anything else we eat. Have you ever seen a pig on a farm? And while it's true that some bugs can spread disease, those aren't the bugs that people eat. Whether it's a bug or a berry, we learn very quickly not to eat foods that can make us sick. Could our tastes ever change? Could your school lunch ever include grasshopper kebabs and caterpillar fritters? Our feelings about bugs are already changing. If we can get over the gross factor, bugs could one day become part of our daily diet. Still wondering who on earth would want to eat a bug? Better to ask who wouldn't.